Welcome back to We'll Shift Dust. First and foremost, a Silo TV podcast. I'm Elysia, your Lucas-loving reader representative.
And I'm Luke, representing all of the non-book readers and keeping Elysia honest when it comes to spoilers. So once again, I am the fount of all ignorance.
That's right. No, not that's right to you being the fount of all ignorance. You are the representative of the people who are going to, by the way, probably complain about something anyway. You know, we got a 1-star review or something at one point because since I say that I like Lucas, someone said that was a spoiler that he must be a good guy. And I'm like, I invite you to listen to our Daredevil coverage. But I really appreciate you thinking I only like
the good guys, yeah.
The non-villains.
Yeah. Elysia Brenner, Frank Castle Stan.
Well, I mean, I'm all for Karen and Frank Castle. And obviously you are for we looked up the ship name for was it Daredevil? Yeah.
Daredevil, yeah.
Karen and Matt.
Daredevil. Yeah.
So anyway, check out our coverage on the Lorehounds feed about Daredevil Born Again. But we are here today to talk Silo because we have some news, we have a new trailer, we have some photos, we have a date. So before we get into it, this will be a spoiler-free discussion in the sense that, as we said at the opening, I have read the books, Luke has not. We will not be talking about anything from the books that is beyond what has already aired. So basically, that is the first book is what was covered in the first 2 seasons. So I'm free to make book comparisons there. But we will be talking about the first 2 seasons, obviously. So make sure you're caught up or don't mind being spoiled. Do check out our full coverage, starting with in-depth analysis of the very first trailers for season 1. Sorry about the sound back there, but we have been covering this all along the way. If you are new, dissecting every scene since, with lots of talk about the creators and the craft that goes into creating this show, plus interviews with Hugh Howey, the writer of the novels, and Saul Calleros from the TV Writers Room. So if you are interested in all that background, absolutely go check it out. But for right now, we're just going to get straight to the point. And that is, what is the point, Luke?
Well, we're going to look at the first trailer to come out.
Yeah, the first teaser. And we got Apple released some photos too. And we got a date. July 3rd is when the first episode of season 3 will premiere. And then we will get weekly releases, 10 episodes again. So that's going to go into the start of September.
Yes, very exciting, and perfect timing because I'm an academic, so all the students are away for the summer. So it's gonna start in the summer and it's gonna end just as the students return. So chef's kiss, Apple, on the timing. Yeah. This is perfect.
I definitely prefer this to doing it over the holidays.
Doing it over Christmas for season 2 is not fun.
No. But okay, before we get into the breakdown of the teaser itself, what are we feeling? How do you feel about what you've seen so far?
Well, as the non-book reader, I'm going to be fascinated because we've already had season 4 greenlit and filmed back to back with season 3. We're already 2 seasons in, and I'm just assuming season 4 is also going to be 10 one-hour episodes.
Probably.
I'm gonna be really interested to see, like, from your point of view, have they done a good job of adapting the story, and is there enough time to tell the story properly? Because my understanding is, for the first 2 seasons, we've sort of taken in all of book 1 and a little of book 2 of a 3-book series.
Yeah. Yeah, so by the way, anyone who hasn't seen the teaser trailer for season 3, I will post a link in the show notes and to those photos that I mentioned. But yeah, as far as how it's divided up, I mean, think about, for instance, the Dune movies. The first 2 movies were the first book of Dune, and now the 3rd movie is going to be the 2nd book with probably a bit of the 3rd. And it's not like, it doesn't feel like that's wrong. It's just you needed all of that setup, I suppose.
Okay, so the trilogy is not like of equal length then of the 3 books.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they're cutting out a lot of side plots. They've been doing that along the way, and they've been adding their own. And I think what they're going to do is, and this has been pretty much confirmed in interviews, is that the second book. So Wool, that's what we've seen so far. The second book, Shift, is a prequel, which, as this teaser suggests, is going to be a focus of this season. But we know that we are still getting our current characters. So I think they're going to be switching back and forth in time,
Yeah.
weaving those together. And so that means basically they're weaving the last two books together. And that makes sense to me. That's what I thought was going to happen, to be honest.
Okay, so as a book reader, you're happy that we've got enough time and space
Yeah.
to do this properly.
Yeah, yeah. No, we're good. We're good. We've set up silos 17 and 18 and a lot of set up the mystery of what's going on around the world. Now it's time to give us some answers, and they shall. They shall, I promise.
Well, maybe.
What do you mean maybe? Why?
Well, they'll give us answers, and yet they'll throw more questions at us because that's the way Silo works.
I mean, don't nobody should think about this as like a lost kind of thing. We know the questions part. I'm not going to say there won't be any more questions, especially at the start of season 3, as you're like plunged into this backstory and you're like, who, what, where, huh? Um, but it's fair. We've crested the slope, the peak of questions, and now it's going to be downhill in through answer zone, pretty much.
Okay,
For the second half.
I'll believe you. I'm not entirely convinced, but I'll go with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like the first episode of season 3 is going to be a whole lot more questions as you're like, what? But we got a teaser for that, obviously, at the end of season 2, where we
Yeah.
got to see the new characters, Helen and Daniel, who will be central to the new season, clearly. So let's get into this 53-second trailer that we got. As Luke said, this is the penultimate season. And it looks like they are going to. I mean, I guess the question was about going further than 4 seasons, would have been like, do they include stories beyond these books? Because there are short stories that hint at what happens after the end of these novels. And it doesn't look like they're going to do that. But also, Hugh Howey is maybe possibly releasing more novels in this world in the future. So we'll see. We'll see.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. But as for season 3, here's what happens in the teaser. I'll just run through it and then we'll talk about it. We see Rebecca Ferguson's face, our lead Juliet, and we hear her voice narrating, before we can know why we're here, before we can know why everything is as it is, before we can know how it all will end, we need to understand how it began. And through this, we see a mix of past footage and footage from the new season, all running backwards, it seems, because they're talking about going back to the beginning and telling the prequel story. Things that we see include Shirley, Remy Milner, and Knox, Shay McRae, running through the silo. I thought at first that this was a season 2 thing, but actually, because it's in one of the released photos for season 3, I think it's actually them running like full spoilers for season 2, by the way. But Juliet and Bernard ended up getting burned. Juliet had a suit, Bernard did not. And my guess is we see Shirley and Knox running to, go be like, oh my God, there's people in the lock.
Yeah, I gotta say, the appearance of Shroxy did make my little heart sing because they're just sort of getting together as a couple, and I don't particularly ship them, but they're cute.
Oh, well, here's a ship we can be on the same page about.
Yeah, and also like that is one of the big cliffhangers from season 2. Is Bernard dead?
Yeah,
or not?
I mean, the showrunner, he seems to have suggested an answer, but maybe I shouldn't say what he seems to have suggested.
No. Leave me in suspense. I don't want to know.
Okay, I'll say he suggested for book readers. He suggested that it will follow the books.
Okay.
So okay, and we also see shots from last season about like those little slips of paper that had the questions written on them about IT's lies and what really happened to Judge Meadow raining down. Remember, they sent up the rocket, it exploded, the little papers rained down. That's what we see. We do see a shot of Bernard, Tim Robbins, and the judicial goon squad marching through the silo from last season. We see a shot of Sims, played by Common. We see a body falling through the silo, only it's falling upward because it's running backwards, the footage. We see people in fire suits ducking from an explosion. Not sure if that's last season or this coming season. We see Juliet walking through a barren silo, 17, I guess, a farm towards some living trees, and also later walking through a lush field of crop or running through a lush field of crops in 18. We see a glimpse of Solo, aka Jimmy, played by Steve Zahn. So that's in Silo 17. We see Bernard's hand picking up a glowing key fob with the number 18 on it. We still haven't, I guess, did we get an answer to that? I know what the answer is, but
sort of ish.
mm-hmm.
I think we got a sort of range of possibilities of what that might be, but I don't think we got a definitive answer.
It's what unlocked the server closet where the so-called algorithm is, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so that's, but sometimes it glows and buzzes, and Bernard goes running.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure we know that that's all it does.
Okay. We see Juliet's feet walking across crumbling human bones as she entered Silo 17 last season. We see Juliet's eyes looking out across a barren landscape marked with the circles that we know are the silos buried underground, and the ruins of a city in the distance. Do we know? I don't want to say. Do we know? I think we know which city that is now, right? That was confirmed.
It was hinted at, but I don't think it was confirmed.
Okay. I will bite my tongue.
Well, yeah, he did. Daniel is a congressman from Georgia, so that was confirmed. But yeah.
Okay. So, and we get also stuff that's definitely new footage. We get one person in a suit. We just see the hands, a yellow duck Pez dispenser to another person in a suit. It looks like it could both be man's hands. The person who takes it definitely is man's hands. I have an idea. I don't know who that might be, but it looks like from their clothing, it's in. What do you think so far of what you've seen of the new footage?
I mean, we're obviously going to be doing jumping timelines.
Mm-hmm.
It does give. We can talk about this now. We can talk about this later, depending on what you do. It does give me some sort of theories about what might have caused people to have to move into the silo in the first place, and I kind of hope I'm wrong.
Okay.
What
do you think it is? Go ahead, throw it out.
What I hope it's not is some kind of like apocalyptic nuclear war type scenario that forces everybody underground. I don't think it is that, because I think A, Hugh Howey is a better writer than that, and I think that's a little bit of a cliche. And B, that's just not how nuclear war works. You wouldn't have time to build like 50 odd silos, or however many silos there are, because we don't know that this is the only like constellation of silos. In my head, there are like silos all over the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope it's not that. Yeah, so in my head, I hope it's not like nuclear war. I hope it's...
Okay, can I ask about the silos all over the planet? Do you think that they were built in cooperation?
Yes.
Okay.
Because one of my sort of working theories is that this is like AI run amok, basically. And this was some kind of... I think like they created like this. My theory is they created this like super intelligence. It told them there was going to be this disaster of whatever description, so they built the silos to avoid it. Except the disaster never actually happened. Mm-hmm. It was the AI lying. This is all my headcanon.
Yeah. No, so I'm just thinking as you're saying this, a thing about the book that I think they'll do in the show also is, we're talking about the slope of answers.
Yeah.
sometimes they give partial answers that are misleading in their partialness.
Okay.
And then when you get fuller answers, things flesh out. So sorry, just thinking about that as you're talking about your theories. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, this kind of hinted that it might be a sort of war type scenario. I hope it's not that. I hope it's not that. I don't think it is. But this
Okay.
did sort of tilt me a little bit more in that direction.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so we see the new characters that we saw in the final season of season 2. The journalist Helen Drew. We have her full name now from the titles, played by Jessica Henwick, aka Colleen Wing. We need you back, and Daredevil.
Is
Anyway,
this is that? Do you think that's a Nancy Drew reference?
Helen Drew.
Yeah, with the
Um,
with the
because she's
investigative
investigating.
journalist. Yeah,
Yeah, could
yeah,
be. Yeah. And we see her give that same Pez dispenser, which we obviously know so well by now, to Congressman Daniel Keene, played by Ashley Zuckerman. And this is the character, of course, known as Donald in the books. They didn't want to have a politician named Donald in the show, and I'm
yeah.
fine. I'm
Probably, yeah,
fine with it. I'm fine
yeah,
with it. And they seem to be in the back seat of a car. They're traveling during the daytime, but then in the next shot, we see a flock, like a police
yeah. Like a
escort,
motorcade.
yeah,
Kind of,
driving
yeah,
down a highway at night. So, I mean, I guess like we know he's a congressman. Obviously, there's going to be political stuff in play.
yeah,
We'll talk about in the photos some new characters who look politically dressed. And then we see a hand drawing a circle of circles with a circle in the middle. So I don't know. That looks like some sort of silo schematic
yeah,
or something. We see. So this is the part of the trailer that I went back and forth, like scrubbing back and forth over the most. Is we see, and I realized it's actually two different shots. We see flares being launched from, and it's like it's not high enough definition for me to get a good look, but it looks to me like it's a ship in the ocean.
yeah.
And then we see a helicopter bomb that ship.
Yeah, I think it's a ship. I'm not sure it's a helicopter or whether it's a plane, but I don't think it
Okay,
really
yeah, an
matters.
aircraft, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters too much one way or the other.
Yeah. And I'll say that that scene, like some about like a ship being bombed on the ocean, is not from the book, but I can imagine how it fits into the book.
Oh, I always love it when they do this because like, well, it's a rare moment of equality when they when they do this.
And then we also see someone in a red protective suit sending something into an incinerator. And I'll say already right now, in the photos we got from Apple, we see Sims in a red protective suit like that.
Mm.
So I don't know. Not completely sure why Sims is wearing a suit like that, but they've expanded his role so much from the novel, and I'm glad for it. So
Okay. Well, I mean, what happens to Sims is one of the most interesting things that I'm sort of looking forward to because season 2 left him in a very strange place.
would you want to
Um,
recap that for people to remind them?
well, but basically, Sims was always under the impression that he was gonna be Bernard's apprentice in the
Mm-hmm.
end because that's how the silo works. You are apprentice to a certain role. And at the very end, Sims is granted access to the vault, the place where the artificial intelligence thing is. Except the artificial intelligence kicks him out, but keeps his wife and but allows his wife and son to enter.
I mean,
Um,
I would choose Camille over Sims when it came to that kind of work as well.
yeah, I think what was really interesting. One of the subplots of season 2 that was like most interesting was the way in which it revealed over the course of the season that Bernard was never going to let Sims be his apprentice
Yeah.
because Sims just doesn't have the set of skills to
Yeah.
run IT.
And I will say that in the books, Sims wanting to be Bernard's apprentice, that is a thing, and Lucas becoming it instead, that is a plot point. But we don't meet Sims's wife in the book. So this whole thing with Camille being chosen over him is totally new as well.
Okay.
So that's fun. I'm for anyone who hasn't listened to our previous coverage, I'm kind of a fan of Camille. I kind of like
Yeah.
her.
She's got this whole Lady Macbeth thing going on.
I guess so. Um, And then the ending of the trailer is, as Juliet says, how it all began. We see an overhead shot of that barren field of silo circles, and it flickers. And we see the same view covered in lush green grass and trees, and the city in the background is whole with blue skies, and many people are walking along the pathways connecting these underground silos. So I did pause and do a count. And there are 49 silos around one central silo. So we were questioning, are there 50 or 51? There's 50.
That's 50. Okay.
Yeah. And it looks like there's all these pathways, as I said, and there's a pathway from the central silo bypassing all the other silos, connecting it to the entrance. So this is obviously that's silo 1. I feel comfortable saying that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's I wrote in the notes, one silo to rule them all. I think we presented last season. So, and then we see a crumbling silo logo with a beam of sunlight cutting through some thick gray clouds behind it. And it says the truth will surface July 3rd, 2026. So I'll say for the book spoiler people, I think Abby and I might have to hop on the mic for a spoiler discussion, which will be in the subscriber feed, because this all looks mostly, but not completely, the way I would have guessed with the overhead shot of the silos and everything. And yeah, this Pez thing that's not in the books is been messing with reader expectations, and there's new developments in that front in the trailers.
Oh, the pest thing is not in the books.
Nope.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
if I get nothing else out of this series, I will have gotten to know what Pez is and how it works.
I mean, apparently it's available in Britain at some stores. People said,
yeah. There's an American candy shop in St Andrews, and not like one of these alleged front American candy shops, like a proper American candy shop, and that does sell Pez. Because I actually went in there to see if it sold. I actually went in there to see if it sold Pez, because I wanted to see if I could get a duck Pez dispenser. I couldn't. They don't do ducks.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did like some special release related to this show, but it was limited or something. Yeah, I don't have any Pez dispensers, but I used to really enjoy it.
Okay.
So that's the footage and the voiceover of the trailer. Overall thoughts?
I mean, really excited for the new season. Really excited to see how they handle the two time frames running side by side. Because last season we had 2 locations running side by side. Really interested to see if we see more silos other than silos 17 and 18. Really interested to know what happens with Sims. Really interested to know what happens with Bernard. Really interested to see what happens with Solo, because if you told me he played a major role in the rest of the show, I'd believe you. If you told me we don't really see him again, I'd believe. Like, I think there's, in some senses, that characters might have fulfilled their role in the story. On the other hand, there's such an interesting character that there's a lot of different things that you could do with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question about, I obviously biting my tongue on that, but question about the shot at the end of the trailer where it flickers to green. You think real or fake this time?
I'm going to go real.
Okay.
But it's a 51-49 call. I could see it being fake.
Okay. Any other tin hat theories to throw out?
No, I think you've already had my tinfoil hat theory for this podcast.
The hopes about what you will see, like what has you most intrigued based on this trailer so far? We'll get into the photos shortly.
Well, I mean, I want to see, obviously, who built the silos and why, and I think we are sort of getting there. And also, I want to see what happens in Silo 18 for, somebody returning from another silo, which, as far as we know, has never happened before.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So that because one of the cool things about Silo is the way it tells the story of this self-contained society,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden you're going to be potentially introducing an outsider to that element. And one of the things we've been told from the first episode is that this is a self-contained community. Nobody leaves, nobody enters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'd be really interested from like a political and a social point of view what that does to the silo, because also we don't really know who's in charge of the silo anymore, because obviously the mayor died season one. Bernard is, if not dead, at least probably out of action for a good while, so we don't really know who's in charge.
Yeah. I'll say that it's interesting. The first book it's interesting where they stop this season, because the first book does show what happens, the next thing that happens after this incident in the burning airlock, and answers those questions. But then, yeah, they've decided to leave that as a question going into season 3. So I guess maybe that's also to give more room to have the Juliet and co story continue to go on as they tell the origin story.
Yeah.
If Juliet, though, is in this season less because they're making more room for the origin story, if you get answers more quickly but see less of Juliet, are you okay with that?
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. I mean, I always one of the things I like about Silo is you've got this big star in Rebecca Ferguson, who is also a producer. And yeah, Juliet is central to the story, but I don't think I've never sort of seen it as Juliet's story.
Right. Well, it didn't even start. They gave us a look at her for the first time at the end of, I think, episode 1, which is slightly moving it up. Just because they have that star, and they were like, "No, don't worry, Rebecca Ferguson's coming."
Isn't it? Yeah.
But the show starts the way the book starts, where it starts out being Holston and Allison's story, and then it's Mayor John's story, and yeah.
And I still want my Holston and Allison spin-off sitcom series. Then we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, so yeah, I've never seen this as being Juliet's story. I've seen this as being the story of the silo and Juliet being an important character within that. So yeah, I'm quite happy. Well, I don't mind not seeing as much Juliet this season.
Okay. I'll just throw out one last thing that they have finished filming season 4. And Steve Zahn said in an interview with Collider, this is quoting him directly, "There is a lot in 4. It spreads out all over. It gets really cool. There's a lot of action." So
that means we do see Solo all the way to the end then?
I mean, at least Steve Zahn's aware of it, but
okay.
Does it? Yeah, we don't know. But we will talk about what we do know about the season 3 cast, and we will talk about those photos that I've been mentioning, which again, you can find linked in the show notes after a quick break. Be right back.
So you're running out of closet space. The good news, you don't need to stop shopping. You just need to start selling with The RealReal. The RealReal is the world's largest and most trusted resource for authenticated luxury resale. Whether it's that mini bag that can't even fit your phone or those boots you never fully broke in, The RealReal handles everything, from photography and copywriting to shipping and pricing. So you can just sit back, get paid, and make room for things that actually feel like you. And with 10,000 plus new arrivals every single day from top designers like Prada, Celine, Louis Vuitton, and Loewe, all for up to 90% off retail, you're bound to find something perfectly on brand to fill that extra closet space with. Plus, this May only, you can get an extra $200 to shop when you sell for the first time. Make room for what feels like you. Go to therealreal.com to start selling and get your extra $200 to keep shopping at therealreal.com. That's therealreal.com. Terms apply.
Your regularly scheduled breakdown will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so we know the surviving cast from seasons 1 and 2, the people we've met so far, so are probably coming back, or we have been confirmed because they are in the teaser. So Juliet, Shirley, Knox, of course, Martha Walker, played by Harriet Walter, and her ex-wife Carla, played by Claire Perkins. You excited to see your Down Deepers back?
Yes, I want to see Down Deep Deputy Hank as well. Like, I don't think we saw Billy Postlethwaite in the trailer.
No, yeah, he does show up in the photos. We see,
Okay.
we see in the photos Paul Billings, played by Chinaza Uche, and we don't see his wife Kathleen, played by Caitlin Zaz, but presumably she's back. Deputy Hank, we do see, played by Billy Postlethwaite, and ne'er-do-well Patrick Kennedy, played by Rick Gomez, and of course, my favy Lucas Kyle, played by Avi Nash, who was last seen being threatened by a voice in the door when he ran away from his training to be Bernard's shadow and went into the basement of the silo.
Yeah.
So Lucas Kyle on the loose. Are you excited about that storyline? What are you most curious about there?
Yeah, I mean, yes. There's a lot of change coming to Silo 18 because you got Lucas Kyle on the run, you got Juliet coming back from a different silo. So like clearly the mythology, the mythos of Silo 18 is not going to be able to survive contact with these two things. I'd be really interested to see if there's a conversation between, or when there is a conversation between Lucas and Juliet, because they're both sort of seeing it's that old sort of line about, blind guys describing an elephant to each other. They're all seeing different parts of the truth. So it would be really interesting to see how they put that together. And I think actually for that reason they might actually delay the two of them meeting until quite deep into season 3, because that seems like it would be
I hope
pivotal moment.
Yeah, okay. I'm always about like get the crew back together. We've also, of course, we know Sims and his wife Camille are back by Alexandria Riley, as we've said, and their son. As you said, Camille was last seen being given access to the Silo 18 vault, and there are other minor characters that survived, like Sandy or the Deputy Molly Cairns or Teddy from Mechanical or Diego Obvious, who I've redubbed. I redubbed him Diego Devious after season 2, but we'll remind you who these people are as they show up in season 3. And I'm still waiting for what's his face, for Danny from IT.
Yeah, no, it's not happening, Elysia. Give it up.
He was last seen in a room with the sack over his head, so I don't know. Anyway, and there's of course Jimmy / Solo and the kids of Silo 17 who are still in the other silo. So
I'd forgotten about the kids.
Yeah. So we'll just see. Presumably, we'll check in on them occasionally too. What's going on over there?
Yeah.
And so add to this, we have names of a bunch of new characters, and after seeing the photos we'll talk about in a second, I'm pretty sure I know who each of these are playing. I won't say now, but book readers, I think that they're the major characters that we expect to be introduced in this new season. So,
okay, so you don't think they've invented anybody for the series then? I'm
sure they have, but all of these people who they've named, like these are our new cast members, and they've shown in the photos. From the photos, I think it's pretty clear who they're playing, and they are the characters that are expected to be added. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've already met Helen and Daniel, played by Jessica Henwick and Ashley Zuckerman. We've talked about them. We have Laura Innes, who I'm not an ER fan.
I'm so excited. It's Dr. It's Dr. Weaver.
Okay, well, there you go. So I'm glad that you're representing on that front. So she is an older woman who is, and I said someone who looks politically dressed. I'd probably say that she's wearing like some sort of suit dress, but she's standing in front of an American flag.
It's interesting because my understanding is that Laura Innes, although she started out as an actor, her career has actually sort of gone sideways into directing and producing. So she doesn't actually act. From what I can tell from my quick IMDb, she doesn't actually act all that much
Okay.
anymore.
Interesting. So it's interesting that she's back.
Yeah.
And then we also see an actress I'm not really familiar with, Morven Christie, who seems to be standing in the same room that we see Laura Innes in. Yeah, I'm just trying to look at her IMDb, and I think she's new to me. Excited to see what she's in Grantchester, a show I don't watch. Yeah, anyway. There's someone who I'm really excited about is Jessica Brown Finley. We see her dressed in, she played Sybil in Downton Abbey. She's been in a ton of other things. She played Ophelia in my favorite recorded stage adaptation of Hamlet that I was talking about recently. But anyway, she is dressed in Air Force gear. And so book readers, you know exactly who she is, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, I just had a quick look, and Laura Innes' last acting project before this was 2023.
Okay.
So yeah, she seems to mostly be doing directing and producing these days. So yeah, it's interesting.
So it's a good get. I know I saw people on Reddit were super excited about her, so I am excited about her too. Yeah, and I think I know who she's playing, and it's a character that we've said we already knew was going to be gender swapped from the novel. And then we see two older gentlemen, Reed Birney and Matt Craven. I'm pretty sure I know who they are. And we see Colin Hanks. I'm excited about that one too. And I'm pretty sure I know who he is. I'll just say he's looking maybe like, maybe I won't say. Well, let's talk about what the photos are.
Yeah.
So we got from the former cast, we got some photos. Like we see Camille talking to the algorithm. Okay, we know what that's about. We see shots of Juliet and Hank and Knox together, and we see Billings in what looks like maybe the supply room. We see another interesting shot with Juliet. She's looking at a sheriff's badge sitting in Martha's workshop as Martha, Sims, Rick, Lucas, and another character whom I think the other character might be George's ex Regina. They're all standing around her looking on.
Okay.
What do you think about that gathering of people?
Yeah. I think it's particularly interesting that George's ex is there because, that's going to be an interesting conversation with Juliet if she has a conversation with Juliet.
Well, didn't they meet already? They met already,
yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it makes sense because Regina, obviously, she had the connection with the relics. She was, had the connections with the underground people. I hope we see Regina's giant ass cat again.
Yes, that really big cat.
And then we also, as I said earlier, we see Sims in a red protective suit. Like it looks like a suit to go outside, but red.
Okay.
Maybe a fire suit, but no, Juliet was wearing. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
That is, it seems like, they're continuing to flesh out Sim's role, which I support. So this will be something new. And then we see photos of the new cast. So we see a photo of Helen and Daniel standing in a garden outside a wooden building, looking like they're having some sort of tough conversation. They both have serious faces on. We see Helen standing with Colin Hanks and another guy who's taking notes as they all observe something off screen. They're outside at dusk. So they seem to be perhaps supervising something that's going on. Oh, I'm biting my tongue so much.
Careful.
We see
you don't want to spoil my book virginity.
No. We see the two older white dudes, Reed Birney and Matt Craven, standing outside in front of a white fence at night, contemplating something off screen. And I'll just say, book readers, if you're thinking the same thing about who those characters might be, I'll just say, it looks to me like the guy on the right, who I think is Matt Craven, I think he looks kinder and sadder. Just going to say that.
You love doing this, don't you? You're just going to leave me like little cryptic.
I'm trying to throw bones to the book readers too. I'm so excited too about these castings because I think they nailed them all. And
Okay.
especially we see Jessica Brown Finlay, as I said, in an Air Force jacket and cap. She's crossing the street in Washington, D.C. In what I mean, I think we can say what looks like our world.
Yeah.
And then we see, as I said, those other two images of an older woman with red hair. That would be Laura Innes in front of an American flag, and a younger woman, Morgan Christie, buttoned up but slightly more casual, and seems to be standing in the same room as the photo with Laura Innes. So, Luke, what's your speculation based on the images?
I don't really have like a coherent speculation. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be really interested to see how, particularly in our timeline, the contemporary timeline, how all these new characters interact with each other, and what's going on, because when they did that cut in the last episode of season 2, I don't know if listeners remember, but I'd injured my shoulder, so I'd just come out of hospital, and I was on like a lot of painkillers. And when they did that thing, I was just like, whoa, this has gone to weird. This has gone to weird. Wait, this has gone to weird places all of a sudden. So yeah, I'm really interested to see like what's going on in the alternative contemporary world, if I can call it that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say I shared some more speculation on on the Discord. In we have a Silo forum under shows and worlds, and I in the general chat for Silo I shared basically these descriptions of these photos and a link to the photos. But in the book spoilers chat, I shared exactly who I think each character is. Yeah, I don't know. I have to bite my tongue before saying anything more, but I'll just say
kid, don't step over the line, Elysia.
I'm super excited. I can't wait to see I can't wait to see how it plays out, because I'm sure they're already hinting at differences, but I think it's going to be mostly the same. But I don't know, like there's always this book reader panic where there's a lot of misdirects in this story, and then it's like everyone's like, they changed everything, they changed the core thing. And I think at this point that they are sticking closer to the book, but it just we'll see like different scenes from people's lives than we might see in the books,
Yeah, well, as the non-book reader, I'm just really, really stoked to know that they've already finished filming season 4.
Yeah.
Because there would be nothing worse than getting to the end of season 3 and it not being renewed. Yeah. Like I need to know the end of this story. Yeah. And I feel so much better knowing that they will get to the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because sure. Otherwise, like, had I not known that, I would be having real Netflix anxiety, as I call it, because Netflix just seems to kill every series that I like before it ends.
And I trust them as a book reader. I trust them because, for example, that what you saw at the end of season 2 is not a scene from the book, but it fits in exactly. I know where it fits. I know who these people are. I know what's happening here, even though it is a new direction, which I think is going to make Helen a better character than she is in the book, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is our discussion and speculation. Obviously, if we get more trailers and information, we'll be back to talk about those as well. And do expect full weekly coverage. We're going to see about getting screeners so we can release it same day. And also,
and also we want to feel like we're big and important.
That's not my point. I just want to be able to release it on the same day.
Okay, it's certainly my point. I want to feel like a big deal.
Oh, I'm like, don't perceive me. No. But I also expect weekly extras again in the subscribers feed with a season pass option if you'd prefer that. So more on that as we get closer to July. Next up, of course, with Luke and I on this feed is Dune, the novel, Part 1B.
Yay! Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we have to schedule that in around our Daredevil Punisher stuff. So we'll figure that out in the near future. And thank you also to our new Silazins since our last Silo coverage, Eleanor, Mark Silpala, did I say it correctly? And Nat T. And our new Stories in Rocky Zim. Thank you and welcome to the fold. You can catch up on my and Abby's full book spoiler conversations with deep lore dives in the subscriber feeds. And there's also the holiday specials and getting into extra Dune prequel books coverage and Hugh Howey's other short stories. So watch out for that to come to that feed as well soon. Luke, you said that there's going to be a new...
there'll be new. It could be said we're going to do a massive review of the set of local and devolved elections that took place in the UK last Thursday, and they were a stunning set of election results. So me and Simon and Will are going to go full psephology nerd for that. So I'm not sure when that will be. We thought it would be this weekend, but maybe not because Will forgot his parents are visiting. So
okay,
possibly sometime next week.
So much to discuss and coming soon to that feed. Okay,
exactly.
And you can find that linked in the show notes, of course. Also, as we teased on the Lorehounds feed, Jean and I have been doing Daredevil Born Again coverage, and there will be next week Punisher Last Kill coverage for the new special that's coming out. Jean and David and Brian just wrapped up Maul Shadowlord coverage there with me dropping in with some lore bombs.
And Jean said it was among the 5 best pieces of Star Wars media, which is a bold claim to make.
Yeah. Have you seen it yet?
No, but I'm going to have to now. Have to now. Jean said that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say if you like cool Sithy lightsaber fights, then buckle up.
Okay.
And also, there's going to be Project Hail Mary coverage coming out right after that. That drops. That film is released on digital on the 12th. And there's also going to be a Widow's Peak mid-season check-in the week after that. And then June is going to be even more busy. So do also, though, make time to check out our affiliates like Radioactive Ramblings, covering Invincible and the Boys, Never Mind the Music, where music meets psychology. Properly Howard, I think they're close to wrapping up their newlywed season where they're watching movies that one of them hasn't seen before. It's been a quite eclectic bunch. And also the Star Wars Canon Timeline podcast, where I've been releasing subscriber episodes, but there is new public episodes coming soon. Luke, any final thoughts from you?
No, just can't wait till July the 3rd.
Okay. Well, then on that note, see you soon for more Silo talk, more Dune talk in the meantime. And just remember, the algorithm is always watching.
Unfortunately, it is.